The high noon rant. I'm Pugs Moran for this Monday. It's been hell. Sorry, I know we're a little bit late. We're an hour late today. I had to do some stuff this morning. I had to run around. I had to wait on a package, a FedEx package at a friend's house. They were having something delivered. Somebody needed to be there, had to sign for it. So I pledged myself to do that. As we do for one another, as we try and accommodate our buddies and our friends' needs, do unto others and whatnot. Screwed it up terribly. There was a problem with the FedEx guy. We don't know. I was sitting there waiting on him, and then suddenly I check at the tracking, and it says, "We tried to deliver." I don't know what that means. So you understand the premise? You understand what my morning has been so far? The reason for this delay? I've been waiting on a package for a friend at that friend's house because they couldn't be there, and it's an important package and it needs to be signed for. So he's like, "Could you go over there?" I'm like, "I sure can." So I go over there and I do it, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I got the tracking number and I'm watching it on my phone, and I'm like, "Well, it says it's going to be another 40 minutes." 10 minutes go by. I check the tracking again. It says, "We're sorry, we missed you." And I'm like, "What? What? 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 What am I doing here?" So then, of course, you run outside. You're like, "Did you go to the wrong door?" I mean, so that was my morning. How's your morning been? How's your weekend been? My weekend has been great. Kids' weekend, the boy. When the weekend that I have the boy, it's always like a little bit better for the heart. We didn't do much today. We didn't do much this weekend. We did some snapping drills. We went to the park. We played football a little bit. He's a center, and he's very good, and he works very hard at it, and he's trying to learn long snapping. So we did like 100 long snaps in the park. Telling you, that's your way in. I know, right? That's your way in. That's your way into a scholarship. That's your way. If you're an offensive lineman who is maybe not the greatest offensive lineman, or maybe you're not 6'5" and 320 pounds as an 18-year-old. If you know how to long snap, that's a skill. All right. Very good. Anyway, he's very diligent. He works very hard. He's a very good long snapper. I mean, I don't see any reason why he's not going to be on varsity next year. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't brag on my own kid. How was your weekend? It was kind of a good weekend, right? The weather was kind of good, but then there was kind of some rain, but it was also kind of great at times. I had a good weekend. I do. I apologize. I'm a little bit frazzled. You can probably tell. So I do apologize. The show's an hour late. This is not the way the show normally starts. Or is it? Maybe it is. Let's say hi to the chat room. We've got a chat room. Peter's here. Peter says, "How about that Plano East basketball team?" Yeah, how about that? That is trending. It's trending, and you better believe that I'm going to go on my rant about those boys. Adam says, you have to send him to one of those elite trainers to get an NFL team. There's this podcast I heard about this dude who has trained like 28 of the 32 long snappers. Dude, it is a secret backdoor into the NFL. I know a guy, Patrick Manley, who played 14 years in the NFL. 14 years. I don't even know where he went to school. He probably went to some dumb little school. I don't think I ever saw him take a snap in a normal game, but I believe he holds the records for most games appearing in Chicago Bear history. And he's like an icon in Chicago. Everybody loves him. He's got a beer. He's got Long Snapper Ale, which is like a beer that's really popular up there. He's made a whole thing out of it. And he'll tell you flat out, I wasn't going to the NFL as a guard. I was too small, but I could snap. I could snap long, and I could snap for holders. I could do all that stuff. It's a good way in, because a lot of times, your centers at the NFL level, they're just really specialists at being brutes, at being, well, I shouldn't say that, because the center position is kind of like the thinking man of the line. But you know what I mean? They've got a lot of responsibilities. So a lot of times the big, great centers who know that they're going to be big, great starting NFL centers, they don't really worry about the long snapping. They see it as a break. Special teams, come on in. I don't care. A special teamer still gets an NFL paycheck and still gets to live that NFL lifestyle, which is nice. Cameron's here. Hi, Cam. What's up, Cam? Barney's here. Barney says that it might be a lazy delivery driver. So let me tell you what we think, because the mailman came and he didn't even put the mail in the mailbox because I was sitting there waiting for people to come to the door. The mailman came, popped the door open, grabbed the mail out of his hand, gave him a big hearty, "How you doing today, friend?" And then we parted ways. Closed the door, sat back down on the beanbag chair, went back to scrolling Twitter. Nobody came after the mail guy. And yet there it is on the tracking. "Sorry, we missed you." And now Barney brings up what we're kind of thinking might have happened. Because aren't they supposed to leave a door knocker? Like, if they actually were there and missed you, won't they leave a car? "Sorry, we missed you." Isn't that a thing? Isn't that what they do? I don't know. There was none of that. Nobody left nothing. There was none on the porch. So here's what we're thinking. We're thinking delivery driver guy maybe is behind or something. And he saw a house that looked empty. Rich people neighborhood. They're all at work or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what he thought. I can't get into his head. I've never delivered for a express delivery service. But anyway, got to go back and do it again tomorrow. That's what we're resigned to. We'll try again tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So tomorrow I'll go over there and do it again. But this time with the door open. I'm just going to have the door open the whole time. Maybe I'll be live streaming. Hey, maybe we'll do a live stream while we wait for the delivery guy. All right. I mean, and I should say, we get a lot of stuff delivered, and just about everybody in this world gets stuff delivered all the time. This isn't normal. I mean, I would say that a good 99% of the time, I mean, let's be fair, there's a lot of packages. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'd say 9 out of 10 deliveries I receive without a hitch. No problem. They show up when they're supposed to show up. This one required a signature, though. So maybe that changes the mindset of the delivery driver. I don't know, whatever. Let's get started with the show. This is the High Noon Rant. It's not happening at high noon today. I apologize for that. It's happening at 1. Hi, April. April's here. Hey, hey. Chat room is small today. Why is chat room so small? What's happening with, well, it's, I guess, different time. And is it because it's spring break? Because it's spring break. The boy is in the next room. The boy is in the next room with his nose buried in YouTube. The boy's in the next room watching other people play video games, which is something that I have grown to appreciate. I didn't understand it at first, but like I was saying last week, some of these people who are playing video games that you're watching are very entertaining. They're very clever. They're very funny. They're very interesting. They're stars. Sorry, hate to say it. I know it doesn't fit the box of what stars were in 1995, but it's a whole new thing. They're celebrated. So the boy's over there. What a great bonus time with him. I love that. Time change sucks. Wait, did I miss that? Did we spring back? Wait, spring ahead? Did we spring ahead? Because that would did we? I don't even know. Oh my God. Are you telling me you do a live stream every day where you purport to fill the people in on all the things that they need to know about what's happening in the world, and you don't know? Did I miss it? Was it Saturday night? How did I miss it Saturday night? Oh, geez. Well, that explains the microwave. Hey, Bones. Hey, Mace. You know why the microwave's off? Because we sprung ahead on Saturday night. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. We couldn't explain it. I was like, why is the microwave off? Because my phone was fine. My computer's off. That's it. Every other piece of time, every other thing that I use to tell time on gets updated automatically because it's digital, but the microwave is the one thing in my house that I have to, there you go. That explains it. Thank you, April. I can't believe, you know what? I didn't care. There's so much going on this weekend. I was just like, whatever. Okay, so now the microwave clock is being weird. Okay, whatever. I didn't look into it any further. Thank you for answering that question. Thank you for solving the mystery. That's April. Let's see. What do we do here on the show? We do a really bad job, apparently, of keeping you up to date on all the things you need to know. It is a 4-quarter show. First quarter is a thing called Antecedently on This Day. We take a look at this day's events in history. We look at how they've shaped our understanding of what this day is. Why? Because we're looking for any edge possible that'll take us into this very edition of March the 11th. Antecedently on this day is quarter 1. Quarter 2 is birthdays. You know what that is. Self-explanatory. Quarter 3, we're going to go, we're going to do deads. These are the people who died on this day. And we decide whether they went to heaven or hell. That's quarter 3. And then quarter 4 is all of the hot topics and trends and headlines and all the stuff that's going on today. Hold on. Need a cup of stale coffee. Oh, also, here's a little fun thing for you folks to watch along for. I like from time to time to take a drink of soda during the show. Oh, God. Just realized that today the soda that I'm drinking from was created at about 8 a.m. It is completely flat. The ice has totally melted down, and every time I take a sip today, you're going to see just a look of disgust in my eyes because I can't believe I'm still drinking this stuff. I have a real issue with flat, old, stale soda. Ugh. But yet, here we are. It's either that or lukewarm coffee. I'm frazzled. All right, quarter 4, headlines, hot topics, current events. That's the bulk of the show. The first 3 we run through pretty quick. I don't know how long this show is going to be because, as I said, I got the kid in the other room, and we got stuff to do. But I did prepare an entire show for you today. So what do you say? We get started. It is the High Noon Rant for the 11th day of March, year of our Lord, 2024. March 11th is the 70th day of 70th day of the year. That means there are 295 more of these remaining until the end of the year. Hi, Barney. Barney says, the first time it's occurred to me that in this world of interconnected devices, one could conceivably not notice the time change. Yeah, that genuinely happened to me, Barney. I had so many other things going on. I just wasn't paying attention in that story. That story, it missed me. All right, let's get started here. First quarter of the day, we like to call this antecedently on this day. These are the events that have helped shape our understanding of this day, historically speaking. Antecedently on this day, 1945, World War II. The Imperial Japanese Navy attempts a large-scale kamikaze attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet, anchored at Ulithi Atoll. I don't know these places. I've never heard of them. Kamikazes. So, I think my whole life growing up, I always thought that the kamikazes were just freaking like psychopath. Like, how could they do that? Like, I mean, they're still psych. I mean, it's a crazy decision to make, but I didn't know the reasoning behind the kamikazes. And the reasoning is because they had run out of bombs. The Japanese, they couldn't make artillery quick enough. And so they decided to turn their airplanes into the bombs themselves. Oh, and they had the kamikaze corps. I don't know how you could do that. Ugh. Oh, geez. I mean, I mean, most pilots, it's like, they're seeking glory. And, they were like, we're going to survive and we're going to win this for our country and, all that stuff. And at least there's a chance. They know that there's a chance they won't be coming home. But at least they also know that I'm going to do my job to the best of my abilities and I'm good at this and we're going to survive and we're going to make it. So there's that hope. Kamikazes didn't even have that hope. Kamikazes were just like, yeah, I'm going to die. This is going to be the last time I take off. This is going to be the last time I fart in the cockpit. This is going to be, all of those things. That's crazy. Born on this day, or not born on this day, I'm sorry. Antecedently on this day in 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev, Gorby, is elected to the position of General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, making Gorbachev the USSR's de facto and last head of state. Yeah, for a little bit, for a cup of coffee anyway. Then, we had Glasnost and Perestroika and Glasnost and all that stuff. And all of a sudden we're friends with them. Gorby seemed pretty cool. And then I don't know what happened to Gorby. They run him out because Putin was like, he's not changing. Not Putin. Yeltsin was like, he's not changing fast enough. And then drunk old Boris Yeltsin took over. And now we got Putin. All right. Antecedently on this day in 2004, the Madrid train bombings. I remember this. Wasn't this the Madrid train bombings on this day? Wasn't that about Catalonian independence? I think it wasn't like Muslim terrorism or anything. Although I don't know. What are the Catalonians? I don't know what they are. But there's a whole like chunk of Spain that doesn't want to be Spain and like has never wanted to be Spain. On this day in 2004, the Madrid train bombings killed 191 people during rush hour, simultaneous explosions. On this day, antecedently in 2020, the World Health Organization declares that COVID-19 virus epidemic is now a pandemic. Good time. Back in 2020. All right, that's going to do it for quarter one. That's antecedently on this day. They say it's their birthday. Adam's in the chat room. Adam says, when you have a toddler, you're very aware of the time change. She took a nap, which is rarer these days, and her sleep cycle was thrown off. My kid's 14, going to be 15. And he's been sleeping a lot. He's on spring break though. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead. You want to fall asleep? I don't care. But like last night he slept, he fell asleep. Just, he's hanging out all day. We're doing stuff, but he's hanging out. And he's just, also I know he's asleep. Sleep at like 6:30 and he slept till like 8:30. This was last night. I'm like, oh, you're going to be up all night now. No, he was back asleep by 10:30. I don't know. Time change. Who knows? I don't know. All right, let's get into, they say it's their birthday. These are people celebrating birthdays on this day. We decide whether or not we think they're cool or not, and whether or not we wish them the happy birthday that some deserve. Born on this day in 1903, Lawrence Welk, American accordion player and band leader. Lawrence Welk is another prime example of what I say about entertainment, television specifically, like in the 1950s. Nobody knew how to be on television. So there wasn't any people who were like, well, if we need to do a TV show, we're going to have to get this guy because he's great. Because nobody had done it before. So they just they went, hey, we got a camera. We need to start shooting things. So anybody that was close. And quite literally, that is the story of Lawrence Welk. He was a band leader in like Fargo, North Dakota. And some local Fargo TV station was like, I don't know, we should just start putting things on. And they just went to this guy who was this band leader and they filmed him. And then they're like, hey, we should do this again next week. And then all of a sudden, this guy is like the biggest star in America because this little station in like Fargo would film this. And then other stations were like, well, we need stuff to put on. So they took it too because there was nothing else. So all of a sudden, before you know it, you got Lawrence Welk on every television in America in syndication. And it was a form of syndication. It's not like we know of syndication today. It was a type of syndication, a little bit harder to put together, believe me, without satellites and all that. But that's it. I mean, he wasn't the best band leader at the time. He did polkas, which was, maybe Lawrence Welk just really big in cities where there were big Polish populations? I don't know, whatever. It's his birthday. We wish him a happy birthday. I don't begrudge him that he was standing near a camera when they turned it on and pointed it at him. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm famous now. Born on this day, happy birthday, I suppose. The recently engaged Rupert Murdoch, born on this day in 1931. Born on this day in 1950. Here's a one-hit wonder, Bobby McFerrin. Remember this guy? Don't worry, be happy. That was a nice song. But I was so cynical at the time. Like I was a kid. I was like, man, everything's stupid. And all I know is I'm the best. That whole thing. I was a dumb kid. I didn't like that song. I thought it was like, oh, this song is dumb. Although it was the 80s. So I probably said, this song is gay, because everything was gay. You want to go to McDonald's? McDonald's is gay. It's like we just used that word for everything. We had no idea what it really, Let's see here. Now, I don't know. When was the last time you heard "Don't Worry"? That song had no instruments, right? Wasn't it just kind of like that? Born on this day in 1950, Jerry Zucker, American director, producer, and screenwriter. Jerry Zucker and his brother and Jim Abrams. They were the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams. And if you like the Farrelly brothers, that's ground zero for the Farrelly brothers, the Zucker brothers. The Farrelly brothers worship the Zucker brothers. They made Airplane. They made Airplane. They make the Naked Gun movies. Yeah, that's them too. All right, there you go. Jerry Zucker, happy birthday. Born on this day in 1950. Born on this day in 1953. How about Jimmy Iovine? One of the big guys in Gen X music. He's a producer. He's a record label owner. He's like a god. He's a billionaire now because he and Dre went in and Beats. He's like the other owner of Beats. Everyone thinks Beats. They're Dre's and they're Jimmy Iovine's. But okay, there you go. Jimmy Iovine, born on this day in 1953. Born on this day in 1964, actor and now film director. Is he dead? I thought he died. He didn't die. Okay, so the dude I get him confused with died. That means, yeah, that's what that means. All right, Peter Berg. Peter Berg is a director. He did like Friday Night Lights, and I think he did the TV show Friday Night Lights, and he did, I think he was he in Twister? I don't know. But here's the thing about Peter Berg. Peter Berg is really funny to me because I've seen Peter Berg in real life, and Peter Berg is just a normal guy. He's short, he's skinny, he's frail. But Peter Berg's energy is like, I'm going to kick your ass. You got a problem, dude? You remember I always make fun of Robert Conrad? Robert Conrad was another one of these actors who like, when you see him in real life, you're like, why does this guy act so tough? This guy can whip this guy's ass. It's like, that's kind of Peter Berg too. Peter Berg always struck me as, man, you're an actor and you really decided that you are going to adopt this character of this really tough guy. And it must be because you were picked on, because you're very small. You're very small. You're very frail. You're not scary at all. And yet Peter Berg is like known in Hollywood to be someone that people fear. And you know where else they did Entourage. I think there was a story arc in Entourage where Vinny was going to like go do a Peter Berg movie. And so he had to have lunch with Peter Berg. Peter Berg was like, I'm such a badass. It's just like, whatever. I don't mind him. I don't mind his movies. I love Friday Night Lights, the TV show. I just, it's like, dude, dial it back. You don't have to be so aggressive. Nobody's threatening you. Born on this day in 1968, the exact opposite of Peter Berg. This is like a little angel who fell from heaven. This is like, this is about as threatening as a newborn bunny. Lisa Loeb, Dallas's own Lisa Loeb, born on this day. You say, stay, right? She had one song. She wore glasses. She wore the Tina Fey glasses like 15 years before Tina Fey. Lisa Loeb might be ground zero for people going, so if an already cute chick wears glasses that maybe an ugly chick would wear, the already cute chick becomes just even hotter? Is that how it works? That's how it works. That's how we learn the glasses trick. Girls who are 7s who suddenly wear glasses in public, for some reason become like 9s. I can't explain it. But you have to be at least a 7 first. You have to be at least like, that whole thing. I don't know. It's men. We're weird. Born on this day in 1968, Lisa Loeb. Born on this day in 1969, Terrence Howard. Yeah, I like Terrence Howard. I do. He's a good actor. Separate the art from the artist, because apparently he's a bad guy. He's apparently he's done some rapey stuff, or I don't know, touchy stuff. I don't know what it is. Terrence Howard, Empire, Hustle and Flow, and a whole bunch of stuff in between. He's a big deal, or at least he was. He's a good actor, man. He's a really good actor. Terrence Howard, born on this day in 1969. Born on this day in 1971, Johnny Knoxville. He's a guy who learned how to get rich getting kicked in the nuts. And you know what? All I can do is say, here's to you, man. Here is to you. Born on this day in 1985. A guy who's getting totally screwed over by CBS, but that's okay. That's okay. Or Fox. Who is it? Wait, who's screwing him up? Somebody's screwing him over. Greg Olson, NFL color man. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. He's color. He's not play-by-play. He's color. Greg Olson, terrific player in his day. Drafted by the Chicago Bears. Terrific with the Bears for a bunch of years. Lost him in free agency to Carolina Panthers. Would go on and be even better with the Panthers than he was with the Bears. Decides to hang up the cleats and go into the booth. He starts doing color commentary on NFL games, and lo and behold, he's a natural. Everybody likes Greg Olson. He's a good dude. And he's getting screwed over because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady they're just going to shoehorn Tom Brady in there, and that means everybody gets cut, and I think something happened to him. I don't know. Too lazy to look it up, but he was getting screwed. Born on this day in 1985, Greg Olson. Born on this day in 1989, Anton Yelchin. Oh, God, this one, huh? April doesn't like Greg Olson. Good riddance. Greg Olson was not a fan of hearing him almost every Sunday. Cowboy games? I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. Greg Olson is very good. Anton Yelchin. He played. Who did he play? Was it Bones or Scotty? I don't know. He was the rebooted Star Trek. He was like one of the stars of that. He died tragically. He was crushed by his own security gate, pinned between his Jeep and the security gate. There was something wrong with the security gate. So as he was backing out or maybe in, I don't know, doesn't really matter. But as he was traversing the gate, he stopped like in the middle of the gate to try and fix it or something. And the car door, so he steps out of the driver's side car door and the door closes behind him, right? And then he starts fiddling with the gate and the gate suddenly begins to close and it pushes him up against the car and then it crushed him. Oh. No, wait, no. Well, I'm not even comfortable with that. Jesus, what a way to go for a young actor who had everything in front of him. I'm telling you, man, life is precarious, dude. I'm just telling you. 1 minute you're at a NASCAR race, the next minute you're dead because something flew off a car and hit you 50 rows in the stands. Let's see here. Born on this day in 1993, Jodie Comer. She's an English actress. Not sure who she is. Is she in that Eve show? That inventing, changing Eve, whatever? I don't know who she is. Here's what I know. I know she's attractive. That's it. I've seen pictures of her. I don't know where she's from. No idea. Born on this day in 1993, one of the great Chicago high school basketball products in a long line of NBA high school basketball products. This one's, I'm worried about him. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, man, I thought he was can't miss. Anthony Davis with his unibrow. Woo! There was like a combination of players at one point with the Pelicans, I believe, that was Lonzo Ball, Anthony Davis, and Zion Williamson. I don't know how that all fell apart, but it did. And they traded Lonzo, then they traded Ant. I don't know. Anthony Davis, happy birthday. Born on this day in 1993. Okay, that's quarter two. That means that it's time now for us to do the deads, the people who died on this day. This is where we open up the life's resume of people, notable quotables, celebrities, people who have passed away on this day, and we decide whether or not, based on our understanding of what they did while alive, whether they go to heaven or hell. First of all, let's bid a sad farewell. Dead on this day. Oscar F. Mayer, German-American businessman, founded the Oscar Mayer Company. Oscar Mayer, the Wiener Man. Oscar Mayer, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer Wiener. He died on this day. So I don't know how to judge him as sort of a turn-of-the-century rich guy because, pretty much all of those guys are kind of bad. Like, they did bad things. But this dude made hot dogs. This guy in baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet. Oscar Mayer made hot dogs. People love hot dogs. Hot dogs are a food that are that's not true. I would say most commonly. Hot dogs are a food that are most commonly enjoyed when people are having a good time, right? Whether you're swimming in the pool and somebody's barbecuing, you're at a ball game and you're eating dogs, you're at a picnic, whatever it is. You have hot dogs. There's summer fun, outdoor food. Here, kids, have another hot dog. You know what? Oscar Mayer's going to heaven. Made the Wienermobile. That's funny. That thing's hysterical. He's out there driving around. So we're putting Oscar Mayer in heaven. All right. And dead on this day in 2006, here's a guy we'll preemptively put in hell because he's one of the monsters of the modern age. Slobodan Milosevic, Serbian lawyer and politician. He was the third president of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Slobodan Milosevic, the butcher. He was put on trial. Remember the war with the Croats? What was that war? What do we call that? Is it known as the Yugo War? A Yugoslavian war? With the Croatia? Remember we sent troops? Didn't we send troops during Clinton? I don't know, whatever. He was a bad guy. Slobodan, he's going to hell. Guys, that's it for deaths. That's right. That's it for deaths on this day. That's it. There's really nobody else that That's it. 1 and 2. All right, now is the point in the show where we like to shift gears and we jump into all the things that are trending. Okay, these are the stuff that people are talking about. I'd also like to remind you, by the way, this show, it runs on your gratuity. So if you are so inclined and would like to drop a little something and you are the big tipper of the day, you then go on to become the executive producer. Today's executive producer, all of you. All of you. Thank you so much for letting us survive. Last week was a grind, man, and we made it. And it's because of you guys. So thank you so much. New month starts. You could always help out the show by dropping something. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into what's happening today. We're going to run through these quick because, like I said, I got to get in the other room, and it's the first day of spring break. But tomorrow we'll go back to normal. Although tomorrow's show might be delayed as well, and I apologize, but it's just I have to. Again, the reason today's show was delayed by an hour is because I was waiting on a package. So tomorrow I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it again, so we may have the same time. But I'll always do a show. I'm always here because I do the show for you guys. You guys get me through this. Thank you. All right, first thing today. Let's see. Adam's talking about Alpha Dog. I love that movie. Was Terrence Howard? Was he an Alpha Dog? I remember that's Timberlake, right? But he's not the star of it, I know. But Timberlake was really good in Alpha Dog. And I was like, oh, so this dude can act. I don't remember much about that movie. I do apologize. Haiti is trending. That's the big story that we're going to get to first here. Haiti. Okay, so what's happening here in Haiti? All hell is breaking loose. We were covering it last week, but the gangs that have all come. Here's what happened. So everybody's pissed at the president of Haiti, and a whole bunch of gangbangers in Haiti. They coordinated attacks of all the prisons, and they let all the gang leaders out and all the gang members who were in prison out. And all those gang members who got out of prison, they then joined ranks with the people who broke them out of prison. There is like a truce going on among all the different warring factions of street gangs. And by the way, Haiti's it's not like this military and that military. No, these are poor street gangs. These are poor kids who are, young people with no hope, no nothing. So they're like, fuck it, let's do it. When you are a person who doesn't have any hope and you're at the end of your rope, you do things, you act out. Or is this different than January 6th? Because those people were angry and those people did something because they were angry. So it's the same human nature. We get pissed and we do stupid fucking shit. We join gangs in Haiti in order to get bread or whatnot. I don't know. Haiti's messed up. I'm just drawing that correlation because I have some sympathy for the people, the civilians, the regular people who may be in a different environment, maybe with a different government for the past 50 years. They might be able to, live like Puerto Ricans. And Puerto Ricans, they don't have this problem. Bahamians don't have, Jamaicans don't have that. There isn't this shit. Haiti is right there in the middle of all of that. And for some reason, because of this corrupt government of the past 50 years, maybe even more than 70 years, if you go back to the Duvaliers, right? I mean, the place is jacked up and these people are at the end of their ropes and they're taking over their country. Unfortunately, they all seem to be kind of like dyed-in-the-wool criminals who are leading the charge because they're gang members who, I don't know, revolutionary. Oh, are they gang members or are they revolutionaries? I suppose that's a fine line, right? When you're talking about living in conditions that you live in Haiti. I don't know. Haitians are shot dead in the street and there is no one to take away the corpses. Bodies are piling up in the streets because there is no functioning government at this point. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And it's so crazy because Haiti is basically an island that is cut down the middle. And one half of the island is called Haiti and the other half is called the Dominican Republic. And there ain't any problems in the Dominican Republic. Certainly none in the eyes of Major League Baseball, which is basically that's just strange to me. It's just, on a ride through the gang-controlled streets of Haiti's capital on Friday, past an impoverished barricade, the motorcycle taxi reached a crossroad. First came the smell of something burning, then the sight of a corpse, charred black, lying in the middle of the streets, its bones and feet sticking out of the pile of ash. Ugh. That's a pretty creepy let's see here. Port-au-Prince reached a high of 92 degrees on Friday. The smell of decaying corpses, human rights activists say, has driven some people from their homes. Others have taken it upon themselves to move or burn the bodies, because who else will? Even before the past week, the public services in the city were limited. Trash piled up in the slums. Cholera had resurfaced. The gangs terrorized the population with systematic rape, indiscriminate kidnapping, and mass killing, all with impunity. God. So the America, we're talking about sending in an elite Marine unit. No boots on the ground, but we've got these like Avenger units in our military. All different types of SEAL teams and Rangers and Special Marine and all this. So that's the talk right now. So we might send people in. If that is the case, then certainly we'll be covering this further. But man, Haiti, I was watching stuff from Haiti this morning, and it's like, good Lord, look at that place. The Oscars. Anybody watch the Oscars? Funny, I have as much interest in the Oscars these days as apparently I do in time changes. Totally missed the time change. Hi, Joel. Joel's here. Barney says, I'm thinking there's a 50-50 chance there is a zombie outbreak starting in Haiti. Dude, I think that place has been in the throes of a zombie outbreak for 50 years. I don't understand how that place is such a garbage hole. I don't get it. The Oscars. Let's talk about the Oscars. Okay, so last night was I watched them. I watched them on delay. Like I recorded them and fast forward through all the garbage. So if there were like speeches and stuff that were political said by the guy who won for best foreign adaptation, I missed it. Because those categories, I was like, don't care. And I was fast forwarding through it all. When a certain celebrity I was interested in would come out and it didn't matter what the category was, I'd watch them for a little bit and then go, okay. And I'd move on. I watched the opening. Thought Jimmy Kimmel was mid. I thought, what did I think was interesting? I don't know. I don't have any takeaways. I thought the John Cena bit was funny. Where John Cena came out naked, or like, because it was the anniversary of the streaker. So they're like, so Jimmy did this bit where he was trying to concoct another streaker, and it was John Cena, and John Cena didn't. It was funny. Although John Cena then did come out naked, covering his private parts with only the card, the giant envelope, because he was supposed to read the winner. And he's coming out, and I'm like, is that his body doesn't look real? I'm like, that does not look like a real body. Oppenheimer won everything. They won everything. All right, let's go through the list of winners here, and we'll tell you. Although, here's another thing I was very pleased about. My Oscar predictions were pretty much spot on. I think I nailed all of them. Did I nail director? I think I did. I know Chris Nolan won for director. No, you know what? I think director might have been the one I missed, because although I kind of figured Chris Nolan was going to win because he's like this, he's the fellow, everybody loves him. But I really thought that Yorgos dude might sneak in the back door, the guy who made that Emma Stone movie that she won, because I saw that, and that movie is wild. That movie is good. You got to be in a certain mood for it because it's wild. What's it called? Poor Things, I think. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But she did. I nailed Robert Downey Jr., Best Supporting Actor. I nailed the chick from The Holdovers for Best Supporting Actress. I nailed Best Actor for Cillian Murphy. Yeah. I nailed Best Actress, Emma Stone. I nailed Best Picture, Oppenheimer. And although I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if I said Nolan or not. I'm going to say, because I think I wanted Yorgos to win. So maybe I got that one wrong, but not bad. Yeah, Leslie says Oscars were good. I enjoyed them, but again, I didn't have to sit through commercials or here are the rules and, that whole thing. So I cheated. If I had to sit there and watch the full 3.5 hours, that would be, if Leslie did that and she says they're good, then she would be better suited to make that claim than I would. I like it when I see something in the moment and I'm like, I hate this. And then you go and you see the reviews and you realize that other people hated it too. And you're like, okay, good. My favorite? I don't know if it's favorite, but one of the things that I am drawn to most every year with the Oscars is the in memoriam, right? The deads. Because I gotta think about deads. And I like to see, I'm fatalistic. And I like to see the people, like, first of all, the big ones, you're like, well, where are they going to rank this one? Because the biggest ones are almost always at the end. So it's like, where are they going to rank this one? So there's that. But then there's also when you see someone you didn't know died and you're like, oh, like there was a big one. There was a big one that died last year that I was like, what? What? Oh, Tina Turner. I don't remember Tina Turner dying. I am sure that I did a whole thing on her because I love Tina Turner. But how come I didn't remember her dying? Anyway, so I'm watching the In Memoriam. They bring out Andre Botticelli and his son to sing the most beautiful song that's ever been written. I don't care. Try and go another 1,000 years of writing music. You're not going to write anything more beautiful than, what is that song called? I don't even know what it's called. But it's the song from The Sopranos that Livia Soprano loved and she would listen to over and over again. That song, I don't even know what they're saying. That fucking song is beautiful. I don't know if that song was written 500 years ago or what, but that song is beautiful. So that was nice. The Andre Botticelli and his kids singing that song together. That was really nice. But you couldn't read the dead people. The dead people is usually the full screen, like the screen, and you're seeing it and it flashes like that's what's on the screen. But the director chose to use a camera that was in the theater, and the camera was showing the Jumbotron. So we weren't seeing a specific feed of the run, the memorial run. We weren't seeing a specific feed for television audiences. We were just seeing what the people in the audience were looking at on the Jumbotron through the lens of a television camera. It sucked. It wasn't terrible. Everything wasn't completely obscured, but there was a lot of shit that was obscured. And I'm like, wait, who is that? What is that person's name? What did they do? It was beautifully executed in the Botticelli song, and that was all great. But man, they screwed it on the whole point of it. The whole point of it is for us to be able to go, oh, yeah, and give a moment and think about, the other thing that I wasn't wild about. I liked it, but also I was like, okay, this is okay. So I see what they're doing here. They're trying to innovate and do something different. And that's good because you got to change. But we still need to work on this one. This is okay. We shouldn't get rid of this thing because it's not altogether terrible. It's not a terrible idea. It's a good idea. But we also need more, though. And what that was the way they introduced the 5 main acting categories. So like you've got best supporting actor. So when they did the best supporting actor category, they had like 5 former best supporting actors winners, guys that have won this award before. They had 5 of them up there, and each one would give a little like Hall of Fame speech for whoever, instead of showing the clips. Like they used to show an example of the work that they've been nominated for, and they didn't do that this year. And I'm like, well, wait, because I really like that, because that you're reminded, you're like, oh yeah, man, that guy was good. That was a crazy scene. I mean, and they didn't do that. They did. I enjoyed Sam Rockwell with Robert Downey Jr. because those are 2 of my favorite actors. Sam Rockwell is like crazy favorite. And the idea that Sam Rockwell and Robert Downey Jr. are friends, I'm like, that's so cool. That's awesome. So they did that. All right, let's run through it. Let's see here. Just so you know, who are the winners? Give me the winners list. Come on. Best picture went to Oppenheimer. Good for them. Best directing, Nolan. Best actor, Cillian Murphy. Best actress, Emma Stone. Totally deserved it. Oh, God. It's like 9-hour-old soda at this point. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5. Almost 6-hour-old soda. Emma Stone, Poor Things. Best actor in a supporting role, Robert Downey Jr. Best actress in a supporting role, Divine Joy Randolph. She was so good in The Holdovers. She made me cry. as like a cook at this elite boys prep school, and she's taking care of all these boys. And meanwhile, her boy just died in Vietnam. Oh, it's so sad. She was so good. Good for her. Divine Joy Randolph. Best writing went to American Fiction. Best writing adapted went to American Fiction. That means it was a book and they turned it into a movie. Best writing original screenplay, which means it was always supposed to be a movie. That went to Anatomy of a Fall. Best documentary, don't care. Don't care. These are never the documentaries that I want to see. There's never an Academy. If you say, because I love documentaries, but if you say Academy Award-winning documentary, I'm like, nope, I'm out. That means it's going to be a boring documentary about dolphins or something. I don't want that. Best animated short, we don't care. All right, there you go. The Oscars, they're over. They were delayed. They were delayed by protesters, I guess. But overall, the Oscar broadcast getting pretty good reviews. People say that it was good. Again, I can't really say if it was good or not because I fast forwarded through it. But those, Kimmel was fine. Kept it moving. I believe at one point they were even ahead of schedule, which was, at the very end, they were ahead of schedule because he was filling. All right, there you go. Moving on. Also at the Oscars, though, before we completely move on, Al Pacino is trending today because Al Pacino came out and he did Best Picture, and he had one job and he completely screwed it up. How about this? Here's an idea. Whether it's Jack Palance screwing it up, didn't he accidentally say, or the story is that he said the wrong name, and so the wrong person won an Oscar. Al Pacino came out, had to do the Best Picture, and he basically came out, started talking a little bit, made a couple of jokes, opened the envelope, said the name of the winner, and left. Like, wait, you're supposed to say the nominees. Apparently he didn't. And I didn't even notice it. But maybe that's why they were ahead of time, because you're supposed to show that. And you don't show clips. I understand he doesn't have to show clips of every movie because you show these clips throughout the course of the broadcast featuring the films nominated for Best Picture. Here's what it says about him. The 2024 Oscars' biggest award was overshadowed as Al Pacino appeared to make a very awkward blunder while announcing Best Picture. Legendary actor Pacino took to the stage to present the Academy Award for Best Picture to Oppenheimer, but viewers were shocked when he didn't read out the nominees before saying that his eyes saw Oppenheimer on the card. So he just went, I guess is his thing. He had the card. He was going to read the nominees, but he saw Oppenheimer first, which I'm sure they do. I'm sure on the card in the envelope, the winner is italicized. So how old is he? I mean, Pacino, he's older, but how old is he? Is he in his 80s? Because apparently what he did was he opened the card, saw Oppenheimer, and just went, oh, that's the one, and totally forgot that he's supposed to read that. How do you do that? Let's see, what did he do? Legendary actor Al Pacino took to the stage to present the Academy Award for Best Picture, but viewers were shocked when he didn't read out the nominees before saying that his eyes saw Oppenheimer on the card. Al Pacino's Oscar announcement of Best Picture was the most chaotic, confusing, and anticlimactic moment of an otherwise enjoyable award show. One viewer slammed on X, formerly known as Twitter. But aside from the bungled announcement, it was a great night for Brits as filmmaker Chris Nolan scooped. Yeah, Oppenheimer won everything. You know what else I enjoyed? I enjoyed Emma Blunt and Ryan Gosling. Emma Blunt, who played Kitty Oppenheimer, the significant other of Oppenheimer, and Ryan Gosling, who played Ken, the significant other of Barbie. They were paired together to come out and do an award, and they just shit-talked each other's movie. That was funny. I thought that was good. Of course, I love those two. Like, seriously, both of them. Gosling, I think Gosling's so cool. Gosling's such a good actor. If Gosling wasn't so handsome, people would take him far more seriously as an actor. He's a really good actor. And Emma Blunt, she's just terrific. She's terrific in everything. Adam says Oppenheimer was great, but there were so many better movies. I thought it was. I think the story, like I said, the story of Oppenheimer is fantastic. It's fascinating. Fat Man and Little Boy is the movie that I watched, and that's my knowledge of the situation. I thought Christopher Nolan was a little self-indulgent. I think Christopher Nolan is always self-indulgent with his filmmaking. He tries too hard to show everyone how artistic and how innovative he can be with a camera. It is a little much. Basically, I just think Christopher Nolan tries too hard. I had this epiphany while watching Oppenheimer, and I went to his filmography and I looked at all of his movies and I went, holy shit, I have the same thing occur to me every time I watch a Christopher Nolan movie, with the exception of Dark Knight. The Batman movies that he did were excellent. But for some reason, whether it's Dunkirk or you know what, I always blame 1917, or what was the Sam Mendes. I always the Sam Mendes did that movie, but I always think it's a Christopher Nolan movie because it was boring like a Christopher Nolan movie. Anyway, don't like Christopher Nolan, but there he goes. He's got himself Oppenheimer forever. I still stand by. I think the holdovers and now you know what? I do legitimately move Poor Things into the best films of that I enjoyed last year. The films that I enjoyed most last year. I think I said last week. I think it was said the HBO movie about the end of the world or whatever. What was that? What was that called? All Things Will Pass. I don't know, whatever that is. And then Holdovers. I really liked the Holdovers. I thought that was good. But now Poor Things. But Poor Things is wild. Like, you have to be willing to go, okay, this is going to be equal parts Willy Wonka, Edward Scissorhands. You know, there's a lot of that in it. A lot of, like, you have to just go with it. But holy shit, was Emma Stone good. Like, it couldn't have even been close, right? Like when you see the performances of the actresses, and I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a few of them. See the performances of the actresses in that category, and then you see what Emma Stone did in Poor Things. It's like not even close. It's like, what? No. All right, moving on. TikTok is in the news still. What? I don't know. How do people think about TikTok? Because there are a lot of people out there that just do what they're told on TikTok. And when you're told that TikTok is bad and you got to hate TikTok, and you're like, all right, I hate TikTok and I'm not going to like TikTok. And then all of a sudden, the person that told you to do that is like, no, TikTok is good now. Now, how do these people feel? How do these people have been? Do they just go, oh, it's good now. TikTok's good. Talking about the Trump thing with TikTok. What's he doing? He just riled everybody up last year or 2 years ago or whatever about how horrible TikTok was. And now suddenly he's saying just the opposite. It's great. No, it's great. Well, what changed? Is it still a Chinese company? Because that's always been my kind of concern with TikTok. Although I am a narcissist, I'm not narcissistic enough to believe that the Chinese government is interested in the things that I'm doing on my phone, because honestly, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything interesting. I wish I was. I wish I was doing more interesting things, but I'm not. But, you know, the idea that Chinese have a direct line to like 150 million American citizens' phones. I think that is something to be concerned about. Here's what I say about TikTok. Love it. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. Why can't an American company just do the same thing? Let's just steal it. Let's just give us a new TikTok. That's the compromise. Hey, Apple's doing this thing. Or I don't know, doesn't even have to be Apple. Give a little guy a shot. Nah, because then it'll suck. Because then it won't be great. It's got to be something big. It's got to be ByteDance. Isn't that the parent company, the Chinese-owned parent company of TikTok? Washington, legislation that would ban TikTok in the U.S. or force its sale is hurling towards a vote in the House following months of behind-the-scenes efforts on Capitol Hill. The new push caught the service off guard, ratcheting up interest from possible buyers and raising the possibility that one of the most popular apps in the country could soon be shut down. Lawmakers have decided Lawmakers have decried TikTok for years, expressing concern that the app's Beijing-based parent would share data about its users with the Chinese government or lean. What are they going to find? What's in my McDonald's app? I mean, what are you looking for on my phone? Don't look at my bank account. That's sad. There's nothing there. You're not going to find anything there. What are you reading my emails to like prospective employers? What are you trying to get from me, China? Lawmakers have decried TikTok for years. It's the presence of China. TikTok promotes Beijing's propaganda. TikTok has the ability to promote propaganda and shape American political opinions. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Just look at what's happening on Twitter. Twitter is, my God, I hardly go to Twitter anymore. And I know it's X. I'm not going to call it that. So yeah. So TikTok, but TikTok, I haven't seen, unless the Chinese government's propaganda is entirely based on dog videos. That's what I'm on TikTok. I look at dog videos. They're awesome. Little dog clips. They're hysterical. I can get caught up in that for hours. And then stand-up comedians. Those are, I don't know. See, that's what I actually like about TikTok is that there is no politics. There is no propaganda. It's all stupid, mind-numbing, funny, make you giggle, that kind of shit. And it's one swipe after another. None of it is long form. There's no downtime. It's just boom, flip. Oh, that's funny. Endorphins go. Boom, flip. Oh, that's cute. More endorphins. Boom, flip. That's what it is. It's scary as shit, that aspect of it, because it is so goddamn addictive. I've taken 20-minute dumps where I've been in the toilet for an hour and a half because of TikTok. So, there are concerns. I just don't know about the whole China's got your phone. No, they don't. No, they don't. Well, good. Can they fix the texting issue I've been having with AT&T? China, can you get on that if you're in my phone? Because my texts, only about 50% of them are going through. Lawmakers have decried TikTok for years, concern over Beijing and whatnot. They're worried that propaganda could shape Americans' political opinions. But there were countervailing concerns that a forceful move against TikTok would spark a backlash from millions of users who have embraced the app. Efforts had seemingly stalled until this week, when a new bill passed the House Energy and Commerce Committee 50-0. We talked about that last week. An effort by TikTok to push users to call their their representatives in opposition to the bill appeared to backfire by only hardening proponents' resolve. TikTok, they're going to vote on it this week. We will see. Maybe today. I don't know. When is it coming to the... I have no idea. They better have something new to launch. And then I'm going to be sketchy on that. What is that going to be like? The government's going to ban and shut down TikTok in America. And then they're going to go, hey, but jump on over to this thing we threw together for you. I got to be honest. I might trust the Chinese, and only because I've been using TikTok now for a year and I've never seen anything nefarious on there. I trust the Chinese more than I would just jumping on some new app that has, programming influenced by Ron Paul or Rand Paul or who, I don't care. I would be more sketchy of that. TikTok. It's a problem. It's a problem that it's Chinese. I see that. It's a complicated one, though, because it's so much fun. And it doesn't seem to be, anything nefarious yet. TikTok, there you go. Spring break. How about spring break? It is spring break. Are your kids off school? I don't get this about spring break. What did I go to school in pioneer days? What? When I was in school, here's what we had. We had a week off for Christmas, between Christmas and New Year. We had 2 weeks off over Christmas and New Year. So we had 2 weeks off over Christmas and New Year. And then we had a week off the week after Easter. And we called that the week we had off school we called that spring break. But now it seems like as I get older, spring break is now like right after the Super Bowl. Does it coincides with March Madness? And I don't know that it always did, or at least we sure as shit in the Midwest didn't have school off for like a week in March like they do now. Like, my kid is off school all week, and that's good. Good for him. Hey, whatever. I'm not saying, when I was a kid, I had no days off. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when did this change? That all of a sudden now they get a week off in March and they'll get a week off at Easter? So really, they got a whole... I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyway, spring break down in Florida is becoming a thing. Florida, Miami doesn't want it no more. To which my question was, who goes to Miami for spring break? Nobody goes to Miami for spring break. You go to Daytona, you go to Fort Lauderdale, you go to Miami. Who goes to Miami? Well, apparently people do go to Miami, and people in Miami don't want it anymore. And I can see why. Like, I understand why Daytona or Fort Lauderdale or Fort Myers or wherever, any of those places on the coast there. I understand why those places are like, yeah, spring break. Because it's a big deal for them. They're not Miami. They don't have the Dolphins. They don't have an F1 race, right? Miami's got other things that bring people to their city. So Miami could be like, yeah, we don't need a bunch of drunk teenagers for a week in March. We won't stop, say the spring breakers. Spring break revelers ignore crackdown effort as they pound drinks and film sand wrestling battles in raucous first weekend. Spring breakers have taken over Florida beaches with party animal antics for yet another year, despite some cities' efforts to curb the chaos. People from all over the country round up during the first one. I don't care. We know. Spring break, Florida. I honestly didn't even know this was still a thing. This whole idea of going to a beach and having sex with as many drunk women as possible and drinking as much as you can, as quickly as you can. That just seems like a very 80s thing. I didn't think that was still... Like, I'm going to be honest with you. We're in the Me Too era. It just seems the spring break was very debauched. I mean, it's very hooking up and, playing grab ass and stealing. Hey, take her top, that kind of thing. Like, all just wacky American fun that through the lens of today is all kinds of illegal activity. Like sexual illegal activity, but I don't know. Kids today, they're all over the place. They still want to do the crazy 80s spring break thing. Yeah, I'm looking at these pictures. I'm looking at all these pictures of kids today. They look exact. You know what they do? They look exactly like kids did in the 80s on spring break. You know what the difference is? These freaking kids are heavily tattooed. Like, there's all these tattoos. I'm looking at a girl in a bikini and I'm thinking, boy, she's beautiful in that bikini, except for the gigantic chest tattoo. Ugh. During the spring break, there is no shortage of beach babes in bikinis and chaos. The raging was seen in full action on Saturday as spring breakers encouraged each other to get lost in the moment at the beach okay, I don't need this. Anyway, Miami's trying to stop spring breakers, and they're still showing up. Oh, there's a new blood test. Here we go. Here's a nice little study that's out there today that I thought was good because I'm all dialed into the let's find out what's going on with the brain. We haven't been dealing much with, the brain in the most, we can remove a lump from a brain and stuff like that. But what is driving the brain? What is going into what is the human mind? We don't know anything about that. We can set an arm. You broke your arm, we can fix that. You were in a fiery crash, we can even fix your face. We can do all that stuff. But we don't know the first thing about, this kind of stuff. It's always been a taboo idea. Well, they've had a breakthrough. There's been a breakthrough as far as being able to diagnose people in specific mental issues. First of its kind blood test to revolutionize the detection of psychiatric disorders. This is very exciting because right now, this is a quote. This is very exciting because right now there isn't a blood marker for disorders that affect the brain. It says here, a pioneering new blood test is being developed to detect mental health disorders. Johns Hopkins Children's Center researchers are hoping this blood test can identify psychiatric and neurological issues, including postpartum depression, schizophrenia, depression, and epilepsy. This research illuminates a novel method of detecting disease-associated changes in the brain by analyzing genetic material found in human blood. I won't bore you. We won't get into the weeds. This is a very big medical breakthrough that occurred today. Be able to take a blood sample and be able to go, okay, so now we know what we're looking at here. It says here that you have this. I mean, we can do that for kidney disease. Now we're being able to do it for the brain. Did you think we already could do it for the brain? Because we couldn't. We have no idea about these disorders. They're all theories at this point. So maybe now with some blood work and we're moving this into a more, nuts and bolts, sciencey kind of ass, maybe they'll stop being theories and we'll start knowing things, which would be good. Natalie Portman is in the news. Now, Natalie Portman, is it official? That's what it is. It's official because the headline was Natalie Portman gets divorced. And I'm like, well, didn't we do this story a long time ago? And I guess they've been going through the divorce for a while, but it's finalized. Natalie Portman, 41 years old. She's available, boys. Yeah, good luck with that. I think she's a terrific actress, and I think she's very beautiful. Like, she is timelessly beautiful in this, like, she's very close to like the whole Audrey Hepburn thing. She's the long neck. So she's all of that. But dude, this is a crazy chick. She is, I always warn you about actresses. Actresses are nuts. I think Natalie Portman is one of those. I think she's just I think you put up with it. Like, she's married this guy for 11 years and they put up with it for 11 years because she's Natalie Portman. If she was just some chick who worked in an office that you were married to, you wouldn't get 11 years with that level of crazy. She married the guy she's divorced from now. He was a choreographer. He's a dance guy. He's a dance guy. And he was the choreographer on Black Swan. Remember that movie she made a couple of years ago? Ballet. Wasn't that a lesbian ballet dance? I don't know. I didn't see it. If I need lesbianism, I'll go to like Pornhub. I don't want to sit through 2 hours of ballet. So I never saw that what she married him. She met him on the set there. They got married. They had 2 kids. They moved to France. They lived in the country in France. And what a surprise. She's leaving him. All right, there you go. Natalie Portman's divorced. Go and get some. Boys, she's out there. Jackson Mahomes is in the news. We all hate Jackson Mahomes. Don't we? He's kind of a D-bag. He's the brother. He's the talentless brother of Patrick Mahomes, Jackson Mahomes. And he's so obnoxious. It's like he's an Instagram guy. And it would be one thing if he was cool and nice and maybe humble and like was just all about his brother and all that. But he's not. He's all about himself and he's arrogant and he seems catty. Like, there's no reason for you to be. Anyway, he's a dick. Everybody hates Jackson Mahomes. A year ago, actually, it was 1 year ago, February. He's bar hopping with a bunch of friends in Kansas City because he's the prince of the city because his brother is Patrick. And apparently a place was closing and he was drunk and they wanted him to leave. And he was like, see, here's the thing. And you might know this. If you have friends who own bars or if you're a regular at a bar, like, and there's a particular thing happening on a Saturday night, like maybe the owner and his friends are getting together for like a reunion or something, or when the bar closes, oftentimes you just kick all the people out who are like the randos, the civilians. You kick all of them out, you close the door, you shut up business, and then you have a private party. And sometimes, if you were in the bar, you get to stay because he was like, yeah, you're a regular, I like you. So that's kind of what was happening at this bar. And Jackson Mahomes was being asked to leave. He didn't want to leave. And he and his friends were like, wait, but they're staying. How come they get to stay? And the bouncer's like, it's closing time. Everybody's got to go. But they're staying. It's that whole deal. Then the manager got involved because it was Jackson Mahomes. And he's Patrick Mahomes' brother, and he needs special treatment. So this female manager got involved, and apparently he shoved a bouncer, and he grabbed the boob of the female manager. And not like an incidental grabbing of the boob. Apparently it was, and he just grabbed her boob. And then he tried to kiss her, which is the other weird thing. Like, what does he think? He's so damn charming? He was drunk. Anyway, he went to court, all of that. Here's what happened. Ready? I'll give you. I'm not even sure what happened. I just saw the resolution in Jackson Mahomes' case. Jackson Mahomes, brother of quarterback Patrick, sentenced to probation. All right, he got probation. Oh, he is so punchable. I'm looking at a picture of him right now in court. So punchable. The younger brother of Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has been sentenced to 6 months probation in a case alleging an assault on a woman. Jackson Mahomes, 23, appeared Thursday for his sentencing hearing via video conference and pled guilty to a single misdemeanor count of battery. Following his sentence, Jackson Mahomes was taken into the custody of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, which will determine whether he's eligible for work release. Taken into the custody. Eligible for work release. It says he got 6 months probation. Why does it sound like he's in jail? I mean, I want him to be in jail. Don't get me wrong. Oh, he would not do well. Jackson Mahomes would not do well in jail. The sentencing came more than 2 months after prosecutors dismissed 3 felony charges for aggravated sexual battery related to accusations that Mahomes grabbed a woman by the neck and kissed her against her will inside in Overland Park, Kansas. Doesn't say anything about the boob grab. Okay. Those more serious charges were dropped due to a lack of cooperation from the woman, according to... Okay, so the woman who was the victim of Jackson Mahomes, who is the manager of this bar, which I imagine is in a trendy part of town, the woman who had this assault happen to her is not pressing charges, so he is going away. And I understand why she's not pressing charges. She's not pressing charges because she works in the nightlife industry in an incredibly small city. She needs this to just go away. She does not want to be the person that is at war with Jackson Mahomes. She owns a bar. Quite frankly, she wants Jackson Mahomes to come into the bar if he's going to behave himself. Because there are, dorks that'll go to these kinds of places just to see people of note. Oh, God. Even when they're only of note because they're related to somebody accomplished. All right, so there you have it. 6 months. I don't know what it is. I don't care. Let's all just close our eyes now and imagine he's going to prison because it sounds like he's in custody. Eligible for work release? What does he do? What is he going to work at a Burger King? What does Jackson Mahomes do? He's an Instagram guy, right? Doesn't he make money from Instagram? That's what he does. Hold on. We got a dog situation. Hey, kiddo! Can you see if you can handle the dog situation, please? Uh-oh. All right. Sorry, buddy. Would you see if you can handle the dog situation? He's kind of going nuts. Sorry, folks. I think there might be some... Oh, you might have to lure her with a cookie. Look, welcome to Behind the Scenes. Is there somebody in the back alley? Don't appear on camera. Lure her with a cookie. Yeah, never mind. She's in. Come on, shake that back. Sorry, we're trying to get the dog in. The dog's in the backyard, and she's... Sorry. Here she comes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Come on, girl. Now that's teamwork. Well done, boy. Well done. Dog is now secured. All right, where are we? Talking about Jackson Mahomes. All right, let's move into the Royals. All right, the Royal family. You following this thing that's going on with Kate Middleton? What's she missing? What's going on with her? So Kate Middleton, who is, what is she? Is she Princess? What? I don't even know what we call her. No, we call her the Duchess of something, right? I don't know. Is she going to be queen? It doesn't matter. She's the wife of William. William is next in line for the throne. King Charles, dad, William, eldest son. A couple of months back, Kate was admitted to hospital, and I say to hospital, the way the Brits say it. In America, we say she was admitted to a hospital, but in England, they say she was admitted to hospital. They also do that with college, except they don't call it college. They call it university. And you don't go to college or you don't go off to university. You go to university. I don't know. I like that. So Kate's been missing. She had like a stomach ailment and she was in the hospital, and the press made a big deal about the fact that she was in the hospital at the same time as King Charles, and her and King Charles were sharing a room. And isn't that cute? Dad and daughter-in-law getting better together. And that was a wonderful little story. But then ever since then, she's kind of disappeared. Like, people don't know where she is. She's not showing up for things. They're wondering, Is there an issue? And now we've got this. It was Mother's Day in England Sunday, yesterday. Did you know what? You know that Mother's Day wasn't uniform? Like, why isn't Mother's Day uniform across the globe? Why can't the globes like America? Because I got freaked out. I was reading this and it said she made a post for Mother's Day on Sunday. And I'm like, wait, Mother's Day was Sunday? There was no way. There was no way Mother's Day got past me. Anyway, she put this poster, this picture up on like Instagram or whatever. And it was her with her kids, with the little royal babies. And she put it out. What did she say about it? She said something like, I just love my kids, or all this stuff. And it was like a really badly photoshopped picture. Like you could totally tell that she wasn't in this picture with her kids. She just photoshopped her picture, which now people are like, well, why isn't she in pictures with her kids? Why does she got to photoshop herself into a picture on Mother's Day? And by the way, this isn't speculation. They're admitting it. They're like, yeah, she's admitting it. She said, yeah, I photoshopped myself in there. After months of speculation on the whereabouts of Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales and future Queen of England, the royal family released an image on Sunday that appeared to have been edited. It's so edited that the Associated Press and Reuters issued rare kill notifications for it, which means don't run this picture. It's not a real picture. We can obviously tell it's not a real picture. It is incredible in its ineptitude. If the goal was to reassure the public about Middleton's whereabouts, the image had backfired spectacularly. The photo created such a skirmish that by Monday morning, the photo's editor had to issue an apology to the official X account of the Prince and Princess of Wales. Here's the official apology. Are you ready? Here's the official apology from the person who so poorly photoshopped it. Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day. Catherine. That's her. That's her. She's copping to it. So, follow-up question, Princess, follow-up question. Why did you have to Photoshop yourself into a picture with your kids? Couldn't you have just taken a picture right there? I mean, the Photoshop picture that you created looks like you just handed a phone to somebody and said, take a picture of me and my kids on Mother's Day having fun. Why couldn't you do that for real? Why did you have to photo? Where are you, Kate? Is she with that Jenny Miscavige? Is Kate Middleton and the wife of the Scientology guru, are they missing somewhere on an island? Let's see. The signature stands for Catherine, Princess of Wales, aka Kate Middleton, appearing to take credit for editing her own press photo. This is a twist we didn't see coming for a family whose image is professionally curated. The image is unsettling at first. Here, I'm going to show you the image. We'll show you it. Yeah, why am I not showing it to you? This is part of the whole deal. What? Show me, Kate. Show me, Kate. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I didn't notice it as being totally fraudulent at first. Oh, wait, we got some. Oh, okay. But then, you look at it and then there's another page that shows you exactly what you should be looking at. And I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Boom. Okay, so there it is. You can't really get a good look at it because it's kind of small on your screen there. Here, maybe if I get rid of some things, make it a little bigger. No, didn't make it bigger at all. Okay, so there you see her with her 3 kids, lovely little family. She's a fine-looking woman. But first of all, look at her hands. Okay, see her hand? See, she's got one hand right here around her son. I don't know who that is. Let's call him Archibald. She's got her son around little Archie. And then she's got this one over, let's call her Princess Guinevere. I don't know these kids' names. But look at how far. I mean, that's NBA arm span. She's like, her arms are really big. All right, now they're going to do some close-ups here. I'll show you some pictures that have the close-ups. Okay, so these, I guess, are, can we make it bigger? All right. So apparently this is a problem right here. They're saying it's obvious Photoshop because it's blurred where the sweater meets the skirt. So that's not real. They're saying the hand isn't real. I don't know what this is. Oh, they're saying that these are shadows. These are shadows that are not occurring naturally. What is this? Charlotte's hair is another rookie move. They tried to feather an abrupt cut out and just made the ends of her hair look unnatural. All right, so they're saying that this is all not natural. This is like, it's blurred and photoshopped, and I don't know. I don't know anything about photo. What is this? Come on now. Screenshot by Alex Kranz. What is that? His finger looks broken. Little Archie's finger looks broken. What's going on here? I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. Something's going on over there. Kate's missing. Someone claiming to be her is, posting. It's a weird story. It is still up on the Prince and Princess of Wales Instagram page, so you can go examine the photo for yourself. And it goes into all the scenarios that are not working. Prior to Middleton's admission, the photo raised some questions. It was certainly possible that it was just a shitty Photoshop used to stitch together several photos so that the best expression on each person's face was used. Children are notorious for being difficult to photograph, but the job is so clumsy, particularly around the hands, that one has to wonder if the intent was to keep us all talking about Middleton's prolonged absence. All right, there you go. Weird. She's missing, and they're putting out fake photo. Maybe she's sick because when she went in. Okay, can we do some conspiracy thoughts here? Okay. Kate went into the hospital first with a stomach ailment, and she went into the hospital, and everybody was all buzzing about what's wrong with her, what's wrong with her, what's wrong with her. And then almost immediately, within like 24 hours, Prince Charles went in. Or King Charles. He was King Charles. King Charles went into the hospital. So everyone stopped talking about Kate and her thing and just started talking about the king. And then Prince Charles said, and then they were together. Remember, they were together in a room, and that was a story. They're like, look at them, father-in-law and daughter-in-law are recuperating, convalescing together. It was very nice. But then the whole story became Prince Charles says he has cancer. So then everything was, cancer, cancer, cancer. There was almost no, probably in England there was, and that might be the origin for why people are going, where's Kate? But rest of us, we forgot about her, right? We just kind of started thinking about the king's cancer. Maybe she's really seriously ill. Maybe that's really serious, and they don't want to go out and say it because they don't know yet exactly what, the diagnosis, the ultimate diagnosis is going to be. And maybe the king knew he had cancer and they were just waiting on a time to announce it anyway. So they just announced that to provide cover for whatever is going on with Kate Middleton, who now has been missing from the public eye for a long time. And now she's doing fake pictures on Mother's Day in England to show people, look, I'm good. I don't know. Secrets. They're a very secretive family. Anyone who watches Netflix, they know there's a very secretive family there. All right. There you have it. The Royals. So now, hold on. I'm going to take a little moment to tell you a story that I wish was a much bigger story. Yeah, let's do this. All right, we talked at the start of the show. It was mentioned very early on. We're celebrating over here. I want to do this quietly because I don't want my son to, overhear this. But over the weekend, and this story is trending. It's trending nationally on Saturday night, and it's still trending today locally. Plano East High School. which is my kid's school. It's who my kid plays for. And he's in the athletic, he plays a whole bunch of sports there and all that kind of stuff. The sport that he doesn't play is basketball for obvious genetic reasons. His basketball team, his school's basketball team did something historic yesterday, or Saturday, I should say, Saturday night. They ran the table. They ran the table in boys 6A basketball, 40-0, winning the state title over Stony Point. I think that's who it was. Stony Point down there in the Alamo Dome on Saturday night. Now, I've been following them all season. Actually, I've been following them since about Christmas time when they were the first time they played Stony Point. That was like a big game. They made it to the tournament finals, the midseason tournament finals against Stony Point, and they beat them. And it was a big deal. And it was like, wow. And then all of a sudden people started going, maybe this team is good. Max Preps, which is the I think it's probably the main thing for high school preps for athletes and to track teams and prospects and all that kind of prospects, whatever, recruits. I don't know what we're calling them. But Max Preps moved Plano East to number 3 in the nation in high school basketball. Now that's crazy because I come from a place where high school basketball is important. It's not important in Texas. It's not that big of a thing, which is why to win a Texas State title in high school basketball is just like, dudes in like Philadelphia and New York City and Chicago, gym rats, kids where it's 20 below zero for like 9 months out of the year. So they live in the gyms. They look at Texas high school basketball the way Texas high school football might look at Illinois football, high school football. Texas high school football might look at the football programs that I came from and go, yeah, that's cute. Well, that's kind of how the rest of the country looks at Texas basketball, Texas high school basketball. It's not great. It is now. And it has been getting better. I was wrong about that because I did kind of a deep dive and I'm like, wow, Texas high school basketball is coming. But to be number 3, to have Max Preps rank you number 3 in the nation at boys high school basketball, that's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big thing to be coming out of Texas with high school basketball that high. Houston's got good programs. Dallas, not really. There's no Dallas Public League that, is great. Is there? Not that I know of. Point is this. This school did this. Dude, this is the stuff of movies. I'm like, there should be a movie. Disney should buy this story. This school did this. Historic. No 6A team has ever won 40 games in a season to go undefeated and win a state championship. 40. Another 6A team ran the table and won it. I think that was Duncanville, but they only played 39 games. So this is the first team to win 40 in 6A and completely dominated. And they did it without one player being recruited by any college anywhere. The team did it without a single star on the team. There were a bunch of role players and scrappers and like shorter kids. They got one kid who's 6'5". Texas State is like sort of showing an interest in him. That all has to change. I would imagine that kid's going to start getting looked at by real programs. But to be the number 3 high school basketball program in America and not have one player being recruited for the next level, you know what that's about? That's about the coaches. That's about the program at that school. That's about what they are throwing together up there, which as a father of a child who is in that sports program, I'm very thrilled. The other thing, these kids have been playing together. This team, this isn't like a guy, we're going to bring this kid in and we're going to move him. This team has apparently been playing together as a team since the 6th grade. Think about that. Maybe you don't need a 7-foot, 17-year-old, or whatever, what some of these other teams had. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you don't need that when you can play together as a team for years and years and years under the tutelage of the same coaches. And then suddenly you find yourself, you're in high school, you're playing at the varsity level, and you're making history. So it's such a great story. This is not a team of inner city playground legends who, are thinking about making the jump to the NBA after their high school. No, this is a different kind of team, and it's shocking. And if the story is ever told, if anybody ever does the due diligence, I said the other day on the air, on Twitter, I said, look, somebody in local media really needs to take a look at this story. Somebody in local media needs to not just go, oh, another high school news story. It's not football, so forget it. No, this is like Disney movie caliber stuff. There's even a fat kid on the team. There's even a fat kid who's a long shot specialist. Scrappers, tryhards, and brothers. That's what they are. Playing together from 6th grade. Unbelievable. You don't need a superstar. It's nice, but man, so proud. All right, there you go. Wanted to do that. Congratulations, Plano East, Panther Pride. Go Pash. That's what we call it, Pash. Plano East Senior High School. All right, I'm pretty much out of things, but I did find something that I wanted to go through here that I thought might be fun because a lot of you consider yourself to be beer snobs, right? So what is this? This is the World Beverage Council. Didn't even know that was a thing. World Beverage Council, and they have come up with their list of, and it's negative. This is negative. I don't know why they would go out of their way to do something negative, but they came up with the 36. You ready for this? The 36 worst beers that you can buy. This World Beverage Council. This is a whole bunch of beer snobs from all over the world. And they have decided that they're going to make a list of the worst beers that you can buy. Are you ready? Entering at number 36. I'm not going to do all 36, but I'm going to flip through these and we'll name some as they become worthy of being mentioned. Number 36. They had to get this one in. This is why I think this is a bullshit list. Oh, really? 36. You come with this random number of 36. Why not 40? Why not 30? You went with 36. Why? So you could take a shit on Guinness? Yeah, Guinness comes in at 36. One of the world's most beloved beers. Says, as one of the easiest drinking stouts in the world, Guinness has enjoyed massive popularity since its inception in 1759. It's one of the most well-known beers ever created, and its faithful fan base will support the company behind it through thick and thin. So what are they saying about it? So where's the negative? Unfortunately, just because something is popular doesn't mean it's good. Oh, shut the fuck up. Guinness is great. Ugh. All right, let's see what else. What else are they taking shots at? Blue Moon. Blue Moon comes in at 35. That's right. According to these beer snobs, Blue Moon Belgian White is absolute garbage. So next time you think you're being fancy at the bar and you're ordering yourself a Blue Moon, which I've done a time or two because I don't mind it, you're just drinking a bad beer, according to a bunch of snobs. Number 34. This is just one better. This is just one better than Blue Moon. So if you've got a Blue Moon and you've got one of these, according to these beer snobs, there's really no difference. Schlitz. Just standard Schlitz, which gives me the Schlitz shits. That's very true. That is. I can't do Schlitz. Gives me the Schlitz shits. Olympia is another beer that we used to have when I was younger. Olympia just runs right through me. It's like, ugh. Schlitz. So there you have it. Blue Moon and Schlitz in the eyes of the beer snobs. Same thing. They're just one difference. Dos Equis. Dos Equis is getting shit on at 33. Yingling is getting shit on at 32. Something called Beaver Brewing Company. Then they put Sharps. Remember Sharps? Sharps was Miller's non-alcoholic. Number 29, National Bohemian. Now that's like a trendy working man's beer. Number 28, any sour beer. Keystone at 27. Sam Adams Boston Lager at 26. Look, I did a lot of business with Sam Adams over the years. Jim Cook, the guy who he was like a regular on our show in Chicago. He used to fly us out to Boston for Sam Adams parties and all that kind of stuff. And somehow I started doing appearances for Sam Adams in the Chicago area. Like, hey, come out, see me at the bar this Wednesday, Sam Adams night, $1 Sam, whatever it was. So now I feel like I can be honest about this. Sam Adams is fucking gross, man. I cannot drink Sam Adams. Sam Adams is terrible beer. If you're asking me, it's terrible. It's not. But again, I'm not a great lover of beer to begin with. Like all beer tastes kind of. I'll tell you, my favorite beer is Bud Light and Mick Ultra. That's it. I'll drink a Bud Light or a Mick Ultra. It's always been that way. Actually, no, it hasn't always been that way. Until I moved to Dallas, it was Miller Lite. But for some reason, now I drink Bud Light in Dallas for the past 20 years. Red Dog comes in at 25. I remember that. That was gross. Budweiser, King of Beers, is the 24th worst beer in the world. Miller is the 23rd worst beer in the world. So look at that. So Miller High Life and just Bud, King of Beers. They say Miller is just a little bit better, but both are garbage. Fat Tire. Yeah, all beer snobs love the Fat Tire. They say that sucks. That's the 22nd worst beer. Bud Ice comes in at 21. Is Bud Ice still a thing? But I thought all of the ice beers went away about 98. I think that was like the last time we saw Bud Ice, Miller Ice. Let's see here. I'm just going to scroll through some of these. Pacifico. Pacifico, another fancy beer snob beer. Well, the real beer snobs say the Pacifico is the 18th worst beer on the planet. I mean, you realize that as I say, these are worse beer. Like this is 18. Pacifico is worse. Pacifico is a bad beer. I don't know that to be true. They're just saying it is. Number 16, the number 16th worst beer on the planet. Bud Light, just straight up Bud Light. Number 16, worst tasting beer. And by the way, that's tasting. 15. I love this. Okay, now there's something that I agree with. My boy Adam's going to get mad at me on this one. The 15th worst beer in the world, according to the World Beverage Association. Number 15, any India Pale Ale beer. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it didn't make the top 10 most disgusting beers, but oh God, I can't drink pale ales. They are so gross. They're spoiled beer. They're lesser beers. They're lesser. They're not at their optimal quality because they had to be sent places to British troops in the colonies. So they made it different. And those troops got used to that type of beer, even though it was less quality. So when they came back, they just started selling it all over because soldiers in the British colonial army got used to bad beer. And now hipsters are walking around going, pale ale is the best. I'm like, it's spoiled beer, man. Maybe that's not what it is now. Now it's not spoiled. Now it's, probably pasteurized and safe to consume, I assume. But they're trying to replicate the flavor of the bad beer. It's still the flavoring. The flavor palette is still the bad beer. They're like, yeah, well, we can give you all that shitty flavor and not have it kill you. Iron City beer, number 14. Now, I've got friends from Pittsburgh. They love the Iron City, just like we in Chicago love our old style. By the way, I haven't seen old style yet, thankfully. What else do we got? Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst Blue Ribbon comes in at 13. We're going to start shitting on all the working class beers now. I think that's what's happening now. All the working class beers that normal people drink on a daily basis, we're going to be told now that we're drinking shit beer. Kirkland Light. Kirkland Light comes in at 12. All right, so what is it? You got to tell Kirkland. There is no Kirkland Brewing, okay? Kirkland is the brand that Target, is it Target or Costco? Whatever it is. Kirkland buys stuff from people that are already making shit. So when you say it's Kirkland light beer, now I need to know what actual light beer it is. It says, let's see what's it say about Kirkland. While it's common to dislike a beer's taste, it's increasingly rare to hate a specific beer so much that you throw out an entire case in disgust. Well, that's a bit much. While Costco offers many unbelievable deals, this subpar beer is definitely not one of them. So by all means, so they're not even going to tell us who makes it? Dude, we know that Kirkland doesn't brew their own beer, so who makes it? Tell us who makes it. Kirkland Light. Oh, well. I don't know. I don't care. You know what I will tell you though? The Kirkland brand, whatever the in-house Kirkland brand of Irish whiskey, it's like a Jameson knockoff. It's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it at all, and it costs like $10 less. It's great. All right, before we get into the top 10 worst beers, let's talk about number 11. Number 11, boy, I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know if my college days. This is I'm taking this personal. Rolling Rock. I used to love Rolling Rock. Rolling Rock, and there was another beer we used to drink called Little Kings. I don't know if you guys remember what Little Kings were. Little Kings, I think Little Kings were like an Ohio beer that for some reason we drank it in the Chicago suburbs. Little Kings was called a cream ale. Little Kings cream ale. And dude, you didn't get a 6-pack of Little Kings. You got an 8-pack. You know why? Because the bottles themselves were about a third smaller than a regular bottle of beer. Now, why did Little Kings do this? Because they believed that people didn't drink beer fast enough and they were throwing out a lot of beer. So they made the bottles just a little bit smaller and you could pound them. I loved Little Kings. An ice cold Little Kings, that was good beer. That was good. Didn't make it though. Rolling Rock did. All right, here we are in the top 10. Never heard of the 10. Number 10 is AleSmith Speedway Stout. No idea what that is. Number 9, now I'm going to take this personal. Number 9, 9th worst beer on the planet, Michelob Ultra. That's my go-to. If I'm in a bar, I'm meeting somebody, and it's like I got to have a beer to hold. I'm going to have a couple beers. It's Michelob Ultra. Why? Because I can have 3 of them and not feel like I just ate a loaf of bread. Yeah, I can drink 6 Michelob Ultra and, not feel like, oh God, I don't want, I don't know. It's light, it's crisp, does the job. There's no problem with it. Number 8 is Bud Light Straw Rita. Yeah, well, anytime you're going to take like a beer and start jazzing it up with that stuff. Number 7 is Ice House. Now, number 6, look at this. Somebody at the World Beverage Organization is mad at somebody because I would never in a million years. Remember the beers we've already heard? We've heard Schlitz. So Schlitz came in at like number 29 or something, right? So that means that Schlitz beer, in the eyes of these people, are 23 better. Schlitz is 23 better than Heineken. Heineken is judged the 6th worst beer on the planet. The brewing process of Heineken is complicated, so quality control is not a hallmark of the brewery. As a result, many beer drinkers report that they don't enjoy the taste of the beer at all, despite the company's massive worldwide success. Boy, I'll tell you, when you were back in the day, the 90s, 80s, you were having a backyard party, graduation party, something like that, birthday party, anniversary, whatever. Hey, my parents are having an anniversary party. Come on over. There's going to be food. You can hang out, right? And all the kids go and hang out for a little while just to eat free food and maybe steal some beer. Back in the day, if you had Heineken, you're fancy. It was like, ooh, fancy party. Look at them with a bunch of Heinekens. So I don't know. So I don't get this. Heineken number 6? Huh. Number 5. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had this. Michelob Ultra Fruit Pomegranate Raspberry. I'm going to take a pass on that. I'm a grown man already drinking a Michelob Ultra. I don't think I need to make it any more jazzy. People are already like, sure I can't get you a Guinness or something. No, I'm fine with my workout beer. Number 5, Michelob Ultra Fruit Pomegranate Raspberry, the 5th worst beer on the planet, so they say. All right, now what is this? Now this is interesting. So, because I just mentioned Little King's Cream Ale, right? And then look, because I'd never heard of cream ale before. Here we are, the number 4 worst beer in the country, or worst beer in the world, according to the World Beverage Organization. Genie's Cream Ale. Now, here's another cream ale. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, did it taste any different? It tasted like beer to me. I mean, maybe there's a slight difference. It was beer. Cream ale. When I had cream ale, it's like, that's beer. Anyway, here's another one. Somewhere along the way, the fine people behind Genie's Cream Ale thought, what if we created a beer that tasted like wet paper? Well, this beer is one of the worst for one particular reason. It's a travesty of a beverage, and I seriously question the sanity of whoever buys it. Woo! Burning some bridges. All right, we're down to the big three. These are the three worst beers. The three worst beers in the world, according to the World Beverage Organization. Number 3, Coors Light. What? Really? So again, just feel, if you're a working man, feel attacked, because this is just, yeah, you're a shit. You drink shit beer. You're a loser. Yeah, just so that's what they're trying to say. Are you kidding me? Coors Light is beer. Coors Light is just beer. That's just beer. That is like the baseline beer. Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light, or they're fat big brothers. Coors, Miller, Budweiser, right? Those. So, but that's baseline beer. Everybody drinks those. Those are like the three big ones. And they're just going to take a shit on us, make us all feel bad. Pretentious, dumbass list. Number two worst beer in the world, according to the World Beverage Organization. And I got to tell you, I agree with this one. I absolutely agree with this one. The number 2 worst beer in the world, according to the World Beverage Organization, is any pumpkin flavored beer. Yeah. I would take it one step further, and I would say anything pumpkin flavored. I mean, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Pumpkin is gross. Oh, you have no idea how many times I've just had to, I had this argument with people. You want some pumpkin pie? No, thank you. I don't like pumpkin pie. What do you mean you don't like pumpkin pie? I'm like, it's gross. It's freaking gross. Have you ever seen a pumpkin? Have you ever seen like the innards of a pumpkin? That's gross. Ugh. And it tastes bad. It doesn't taste good. You have to add things to it to make it taste passable. You know what you don't have to do that with? Apples, pineapples, oranges. You don't have to add anything to it. Pumpkin is not a fruit that we make flavors out of. Pumpkin is just like a sponge that we add flavors to. And it's almost always like nutmeg or cinnamon or something. No, just no thank you. Maybe if somebody would do something with pumpkins the way we've seemed to have adapted the mushroom. The mushroom doesn't have any flavor. The mushroom is just a sponge for whatever it is that you're cooking it in. You know, a mushroom cooked in garlic and butter is going to be delicious, but just a regular mushroom is going to be like, ugh. So pumpkin beer, let's stop. Let's stop with trying to make pumpkin a thing. Pumpkin is gross. Okay, where are we at? Number 1. Oh, well, this is a tap out. Okay, so the number 1 worst beer, they say, is any cheap college beer. Oh boy, isn't that fun? So we went through this whole stupid list only for you to. So then what would the real worst beer be? Coors Light. Because if the number 2 worst beer is any pumpkin beer, that's not specific. And the number 1 is any cheap college beer, that's not specific. The last specific brand to be slayed by the World Beverage Organization in their list of the worst beers in the world is number 3, Coors Light. Congratulations. Can't tell you how wrong that is. Leslie says if I drink beer, I order Blue Moon or Dos Equis. Both of them made the list. You know what didn't make the list? Hold on, let me go through this. Miller Lite didn't make the list. Just Miller Lite, just regular Miller Lite did not make their list. As a matter of fact, how many Miller products in general made this list? Let me see. Is Pabst a Miller product? I don't know. By that I mean a Wisconsin beer. Bud Light is a St. Louis beer. O'Doul's, I think that's Anheuser-Busch, right? Miller, there you go. Okay, High Life, champagne of beers, comes in as the 20th worst beer. Miller High Life. Oh yeah, I don't mind those. Banquet beer. The rocket tops, you know, the angular like 1950s rocket tops before they changed the way the bottle there's like 2 different kinds of bottles in America. Like there were bottles in the 1950s and then somewhere in the 60s they changed it because they got all aerodynamic and they're like, no, if we change the bottle, now the pour will be smoother. Because that was the problem with the rocket tops. With the rocket top bottle of beer, you would pour it and literally it would all just go like it could all come out at once. There was no like, now there's like a whole science on how beers pour. I don't know what I'm talking about. How you guys doing? I'm out of show. I've been running around all morning. Peter says Heineken is skunk beer. Okay. I don't know. It's like that's what I push back on here with the beer conversation in general. So let's set the baseline on what beer tastes good. So which one tastes good? Because I can't put any beer on a baseline of what beer tastes good. They all taste like spoiled fruit. They all taste like fermentation. Alcohol is not supposed to be something that the human taste buds go, delicious. It's not. Now we can put up with it. We can flavor it. We can add fruit to it. We can sweeten it up or do whatever, and we can change that flavor. But just in general, a beer is not a pleasant taste. And I'll also coffee. Coffee is not a pleasant taste. Coffee is bitter and it's harsh. But somehow we convince ourselves that these things are good. And by the way, coffee is just black coffee. Don't tell me you're like, well, I think my coffee is delicious. Yeah, because you got caramel syrup in there. That's no longer coffee. You're just drinking hot caramel, with coffee when the caramel is now the main flavor. What is this? Doesn't this look like a birth control? Looks like it's my kids. Oh, sorry. This is braces. All right, let's put those down. This is braces case. All right, I got nothing else. You guys got anything else? I'm sorry today's show was so weird. It was a little bit interrupted. Tomorrow's show is probably going to be interrupted as well, but it won't be so chaotic. So tomorrow we may start at 1 as well. Maybe not. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But keep an eye out for that. That's it, guys. I love you. Have a great week. Well, great day, because I'll see you tomorrow. We don't have to do the whole week thing. All right, I gotta go. My kid's in the other room, and I think we're gonna go to the park. We're gonna do some snaps. I'm gonna be Coach Dad. I'm gonna go do that. I need 10 perfect. No, I'm not like that. As a matter of fact, see, I gotta whisper now because sometimes he's listening. Like, I think I'm not hard enough on him. Like, he's like way harder on himself. Like, his catch radius for long snaps, like, it's got to be like in a really tight box. Like when he long snaps it to me, he's not happy unless it's like right in the chest. And if I have to go here, or if I have to go here, or just move a little bit, he's like, "Damn it!" I'm like, "No, that's fine. That's you don't have to worry about it." So he's driven. Love my kid. All right, you guys are the best. We'll see you tomorrow.